A female between 44 and 54 asks,
Best kind.
At work, I tend to be really good and confident at doing things I don't necessarily enjoy, but I'm less confident about the things I do enjoy. So, my life tends to fill up with the good at but don't enjoy so much things that allow me to pay for things like food and shelter, and leaves me less and sometimes no time to focus on the things that I actually love. Should I commit to doing the things I love and care less about paying the bills? Or should I learn to get over the stuff I don't enjoy to focus on the money making?
Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm hearing, do I follow my passion or do I pay my bills? This is a struggle for almost every artist that wants to commodify their talent. I will say that sometimes when we hear stories about courageous people leaving their job behind and going to volunteer in another country, that's not bravery or courage, that's resources. The ability to leave your job and not pay your rent anymore because it's a soul-sucking job is not a matter of courage, it's a matter of resources. Do you have the money to quit your job? She does not have the money to quit her job. There are parts of her job that she's really, really good at, and she enjoys being good at those things, and she's probably praised for those things. But they're soul-sucking and they're soul-crushing, and she doesn't want to do as much of that. There are things I'm thinking at work that she does want to do more of, but she's not confident in. So, I don't know where she works, and I don't know what the corporate culture there is, but quite often there are performance reviews, and if the performance reviews are any good, there's going to be a question. What are you interested in? Do you have any personal development goals? And that's where you can, I guess, even ask for a meeting with your manager. You say, hey, I'm really interested in doing more of this thing. Leave out the part that you're not confident. Say that you're interested in it, for sure, because the more and more you get to do the things that you're interested, I suppose, the less of the soul-sucking stuff falls off your plate or becomes someone else's job. I don't know if that's real. At the end of the day, you gotta decide how much energy you're giving to the maintenance of your life versus the passion of your life. When I first moved to New York, I got a job, like every actor, in a restaurant, and I had to work a bunch of shifts, and I was really good at it, and I was given promotions and asked if I wanted to move into this position or that, and I had to make a decision that if I moved into this position or that, I'd make a bunch more money, which would make my life in New York a lot easier, but I couldn't audition anymore. So I turned the promotion down, and the manager looked at me like I was nuts. You make so much more money. I go, yeah, but then I couldn't do the thing that I moved to New York to do. And he repeatedly asked me if I'd be willing to take the promotion. Now's the time. You can move to this and move to that, and do you want to be management track? And I go, I didn't move to New York to be a manager at a restaurant. I moved to New York to be an actor. And it's hard to say no thank you over and over and over again to things that you're really good at and pays the rent, but it's not your purpose or your passion. So I don't know what kind of job you have, and I don't know where you work. It's a legitimate question. It's a super tough one. And I would say if you're putting in overtime for soul-crushing stuff, we got to find a way to cut that part out. You're not doing more than your fair share of soul-crushing work. Maybe we can mitigate that first. And then we talk to whomever and ask specifically to get put on teams or on projects about the things that we do like. So go towards the things that you like rather than away from the things that you don't. Yeah, that's good. Is that good? That's good.
This person also asks, any advice on how to get rid of stuff that I probably won't need, but I might one day, so that stuff stops taking over my life?
I've never used it, but I might need it. I heard the other day when I was listening to a podcast that a concept that I really like, that clutter is stuff about which you have not made a clear decision. Once you make a clear decision about it, it becomes either purposeful or not purposeful, and then it's not clutter anymore. So I imagine that the things that are filling up your space feels clutter because you haven't made a decision about it, right? I could use it, I haven't used it, I might use it. Pointers about how to get rid of stuff. There's a couple different ways to go about this. There's the Marie Kondo method, where you put like with like, and then you pick up, touch physically everything and you ask yourself, maybe even out loud, I've done this, feels a little crazy at first, but it helps. Does this bring me joy? This mug brings me a lot of joy. And so I'm very happy, and I put it in the keep pile, and I pick up something else and I say, does this bring me joy? No, not really. And I thank it for its service and I set it aside, and it's going to go away. Be careful about, oh, I'll sell it. Be honest, you're not gonna sell it. You're gonna donate it. You might donate it to a charity organization. You might, if you live in New York or Los Angeles, put it on the curb, it disappears. People find great value in the stuff that you no longer value, it's great. Or you trash it, or you recycle it, or upcycle it, or whatever. There's another method you can use. Have I ever used this thing? Am I holding on to it because I have a desire to use this thing? If you don't have an immediate use for it, it can go. When it comes to like a practical thing like a hammer, you're like, does this bring me joy? No, hammer doesn't bring me joy, but you know what does? Not buying another hammer on a hammer. If the hammer is broken and the handle is jacked, it would bring me joy to get a hammer that does work, so the broken hammer goes away and I get a new one. You can also get a buddy to ask you questions. This is what I do for people. I walk into the space and I go, great, we're gonna put like with like. I want you to bring all of your short sleeve shirts and you're gonna put them in a big fat pile, and then we're gonna go through them one by one. And people go, oh my God, one by one. I go, you wanna get rid of stuff? You gotta get specific about each and every item. It's exhausting. I advise a buddy. You can hire me if you want, or if you're my friend, I might even do it for free. Just let me in your apartment, I'll throw away half your stuff. How's that? Get me over there to throw away half your stuff for you. Problem solved.